So guys, before I start this video, all it's going to be is a quick chat about how to get into the flying world without the ego, without the bullshit, without the crap of how good I am at flying and all that crap. I'm not. So a chat on how you get into it without all the bravado. Okay, so continue watching, click subscribe. I don't know where it is. Enjoy and hopefully you find it helpful. What I wanted to do today was basically a couple of minutes of talking about the flying world and how to get into it. I've had a lot of messages on social media, Instagram, asking how you get into the sport. Can you just get a wing or can you get a kite and teach yourself? The harsh reality is people do this, some of which move on and be fantastic flyers, a lot of which end up seriously hurting themselves or unfortunately losing their lives due to the sport from silly mistakes they're making. So before I continue, just explain a bit more why I want to do this. A little while ago, not long ago at all, I did some flying with a couple of guys we've never met before. So I met up with them, did some flying, and it very quickly became apparent that they were teaching each other, teaching their friends how to fly when they didn't really have the experience or knowledge to do so. It sounds really obvious. If you're about to throw yourself off of something high and fly, then you want the best people teaching you. You don't want some buffoon or some guy who thinks he's the tits or what's got an ego that big. He feels like he can teach all his friends on how to fly safely, but unfortunately people still do it. So I saw this the other day and it bothered me a little bit, so I just want to voice my opinion on the matter. I'm sure people will watch this and think it's crap and go and teach themselves anyway. If that's the case, crack on guys, but for your sake, don't hurt yourself, or even worse, don't hurt somebody else. So that's why I'm doing this video. I've got my laptop here, just a few questions on it, or a few pointers even, of the process I'm going to go through on the video. So why am I doing this video? I've explained it. There's a lot of silly people out there. Please don't be one of them. It's a sensible sport if you are sensible, if you've got your wits about you. We've all seen videos of the likes of Jamie Lee and a few of the other guys flying in between ravines, going upside down inverted, over fire breaks through tree lines. Fantastic, great. You know what? Incredible flying, incredible capabilities. But that's not everybody, and to get to that level, you need lots and lots of experience and practice. You also need to surround yourself with people what live for flying also. If you surround yourself with people what just do it every now and again, every blue moon, you're only going to reach their level or a similar level. Again, this is only my opinion. I'd say surround yourself with talented people, talented pilots. That will definitely help you along the way. But anyway, right. So the first one is, what is paragliding to a mini wing and speed wing? A lot of people don't know the difference. They think everything is a paraglider. The best way to explain it, excuse me, cough brew. The best way to explain it is to think of it as a paraglider is the thing where really big, float around in the sky, get thermals, stay up all day long if you want to. You can get lighter kit, but they tend to be bigger packs, weighing in at about 15 kilos ish. So they're for the people who want to have a slow hike up a hill, wait around for the perfect conditions and launch. And then potentially, if the skill set is there, you can stay up all day long, literally all day. But again, that comes with experience. So that's a paraglider. The mini wing is basically a mini bus of the flying world. You can fly it in harsh conditions to a paraglider, windier. Can soar, can stay up in the air on it if the weather permits. Need a lot of wind. They're lighter, perfect for hike and fly. You can do top to bottom, so hike to the top of the launch point, fly back down, land an area, pack up, go home, do it a few times. If you haven't got the desire to stay up for a long duration, I'd aim towards the mini wing. But then if you want speed, lots and lots of speed, or the ability to soar in very, very strong winds, then you've got the speed wing. So the Paraglider is the double-decker bus of the sky. The mini wing is the, what did I say? Minibus of the sky. And then you've got the speed wing, which is it's the Ferrari of the sky. They can get incredibly small, incredibly fast, don't weigh much at all, but they're normally used for the likes of Europe, France, Italy, Switzerland, where there's big things to run off of. They're the bits of kit you see people flying upside down in between rocks, ravines, tree lines, fire breaks. They're speed wings. So that's that. I hope that explains it. So that's a paraglider, a mini wing, and a speed wing. So paraglider, biggest one you can get really, apart from tandem paraglider. So you've got paragliders at the top end. Then at the bottom end you've got speed wings. If the speed wing and a paraglider had a baby, you get a mini wing. Best of both worlds basically. I hope that makes sense. Which one would be suitable to you? Oh, do you know the answer to that? I'll probably do another video on that at some point, guys, but that's that one. How do I learn to fly? Then I've got in brackets, not with mates. So I did a course with a company called Soar Paragliding. Fantastic, ran by some ex-military guys. It was good. I mean, it was mostly fitness based. It was up and down hills. You start off running with a wing over your head, getting a feel for it, because obviously if you can't control the wing on the ground, you're certainly not going to be able to control it in the sky with you underneath it. So the first thing you do is run in a straight line with it over your head, trying to get to grips with it. Once you've got that and the instructors deem it suitable, you'll start doing short hops. They're called hops. And that will be a case of running, getting a couple of seconds air time, literally 2-3 seconds, and just getting used to that weightless sensation, and then learning obviously how to flare to slow down that approach, that landing, and then running off, resetting, doing that a whole bunch. You've done your hops, your couple of seconds in the air, you'll move up the hill, sorry. And you'll do longer flights, you'll start learning about trims, and you'll start doing turns. And this is where you start to get a feel for it. You've gone halfway up the hill, 40-second flights, minute flights. You're learning how to turn, learning how to land correctly. Then you'll work your way to the top, the very, very top, and that will be basically consolidation flights. So you've shown the instructors everything you need. It's obviously not as simple as I've just said it. There's a lot of theory and whatever else, and landing selections, plan A's, plan B's, what different lines do, what risers do, everything. But once you've done all that and you're doing the big boy flights from the top, it'll be consolidation flights. So that is, you get to the top, you fly, you land, and you keep going. I believe there's 20. I might be getting that confused with skydiving. I think there's 20. Consolidation flights you need to do. That's under instructions. They'll be watching, you'll be on radio, so they can talk to you throughout the whole flight. And from there, if all is well in the world, you will be signed off. That is for speed flying. Paragliding I've not done. I'm in the process of doing that, but that's speed flying. So if you wanted the really tight in ravines and upside down stuff, that's how you do it. That's how it works. Paragliding courses are different. You've got the elementary pilot, club pilot. I won't go into it. I don't know enough about it. But mini wings, this is where it's a grey area. Everything merges. You can do the speed flying course, the BHPA, British Hang Gliding and Paragliding Association speed flying course, and fly your mini wing. It's very difficult to explain. It all works on wing loading, so your weight to the size of the wing. Obviously, if you weigh 20 stone and you're flying a 14-metre wing, and I'm flying a 14-metre wing, weighing 11 stone, one is going to be a lot faster than the other. Okay, so it all merges depending on your weight, size, and how you want to fly. You could potentially, you could go from a speed flying course and fly a mini wing. The only difference is speed wings are a lot more agile, a lot more nimble, more aggressive. Then you've got the mini wings, which are a little bit more docile. So depending on what you want to do, obviously there's that. The other approach to get into mini wing flying would be to do the paragliding course and downsize instead of upsize. But once again, I've not done that, so I can't give judgment on that. I can't give advice on that. So how to fly? Yeah, I think we've covered that. I have got a note there: not with mates, not with friends. All that is like I said previously. If your friend says to you, "Yes, I've been flying for a little while, I'll teach you," don't do it. In my opinion, don't do it. Go to a qualified school, not only for insurance purposes, but for your sake, because it's your life on the line. It's okay your friend teaching you, but when you've jumped off a cliff, it's you and only you. And if something goes wrong, you will wish that you did the correct process. You learned the right way. Knowledge is power, really cheesy, but the more knowledge you've got, the safer you are going to be. And I can almost guarantee you'll get a lot more knowledge from a school at the early stages. So that's how I learn to fly. So what's next is kit suitable for ability. Quite fidgety, aren't I? So kit, obviously we've discussed the Paragliders, mini wings, speed wings, all different wings, depending on what discipline you want to go down. Obviously it depends on what kit you're going to buy. You're not going to learn to fly a speed wing or a mini wing and then buy a paraglider. It doesn't work like that, obviously. So the kit you buy depends on your weight, on what you want to do. We've got things like single skin wings and hybrids and double skins, and there's loads. So kit wise, the best thing to do is speak to somebody with experience, somebody who has seen you fly, discuss what you want from flying and go from there. Just be aware that a lot of schools, they will try and sell you kit when you do the course. Okay, I'm not saying that's right, I'm not saying that's wrong. That's their business, not mine. But some schools will try and sell you select kit because they get it cheap. They're friends with the company. Okay, so don't jump into buying a wing. Don't do it. Okay, think about it, take your time. I understand it's exciting. Oh, I can fly, I want the kit, so I can go and do it by myself. I get it. Excuse me. Everyone who flies has been there. They understand it. But from experience, don't just jump into it. Don't just get a wing what your instructor tries to sell you. My instructor, I was quite lucky, very understanding guy, didn't try to sell me anything. Did the course, he was there all along for guidance, for additional instruction, even when I passed the course. So yeah, don't buy kit straight away. Wait and see, speak to people, fly with people, using school kit if possible, and go from there. Then make the right decision. That's wings. Harnesses. So the harness is the thing you sit in. It's like a little rope swing effectively with a big parachute on top of you. So the harness, there's so many variations, so many boast of split legs, closed legs, back support, you name it, they've got it, airbags. But the reality is everybody wants the kit what's lightweight and low profile and looks cool, so when you rock up on the hill, people can't tell you're a complete newbie, a new starter. But again, dangerous, guys. The lightweight kit offers absolutely zero support, nothing. If you were to have an accident with a lightweight harness, you've got no support, nothing at all. It's gonna sting. Okay, so when you start out, obviously it's a little bit bulkier. but look at a harness with either an airbag or foam or some form of plates to offer that additional support to start your flying career. You will have scrapes, you will have bumps, you will have downwind landings, and you'll be thankful for it if you need it. So once you've got a bit more experience, a bit more flying time, you understand your kit, you understand your wing, you understand its characteristics and how it normally performs, then you can look at going a little bit more streamlined with your kit, going a little bit more lightweight for hike and flies and things like that. So that's that is kit. So the last one on the list is locations once qualified. Once you've been given the squiggle and you're qualified to Speedfly, does that mean you can go anywhere in the world and jump off a hill? Yes and no. What I suggest is once you're newly qualified, go to a site, a regulated site where there's other people flying. It doesn't have to be speed wings, it could be mini wings, paragliders, but it's always better to have somebody there to start with in the early days of flying. Not only to assist if something goes wrong, call for help, but they can also give off signs, they can give you information and things like that. There is no shame at all in going up to a pilot who's on the ground and having a chat with them, asking for help, asking for guidance. If they don't help you at the difficult, then they're just dicks. Okay, there's no need for that, and unfortunately there is a little bit of that in the air sport world. But go to a location where there's a lot of flyers, not necessarily people, where there's a lot of flyers, active flyers. Get their knowledge, hone in on your skill with assistance from them. Once you've got a little bit more airtime under your belt, then you can start looking at maybe going out for a cheeky hike and fly by yourself, or even going to locations where the landing areas are a lot smaller. But for stuff like that, you need to understand your wing, how it performs, how it acts, the glide. You need to know a lot about your kit before you start trying to hook turn into tight little landing areas, because it'll probably go wrong the first couple of times. And again, I'm speaking from experience. The amount of times I've tried things and it's failed, and thankfully I'm okay, I'm not hurt. The only thing that's been bruised is my pride, but that's part of the process, that's part of how you learn. So we've covered why I'm doing the video, what's a paraglider, speed wing and mini wing, how do you get into flying, not doing it with your mates, the kit, harnesses and locations once you are qualified. So that's that video over. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I hope it was useful. Click subscribe, like, any comments, questions, put them below and I will be in touch. And that is it. Best of luck, take care guys, and I hopefully will see you on the hill flying soon.